Mike, I'm not getting the feed. Okay, we are live and direct. You should be on the air. Is that mic working there, guys? Okay. Okay. Well, is that going? Okay, we are live and direct from Farmfest here on the Lincoln Farm Network. And Congressman Tim Walz, who's a candidate for governor, is joining us. How about a round of applause for Mr. Walz being with us today? Great to have you along. Yeah. And we're going to be talking about some of the issues in agriculture. You're going to be asking Colin some questions. Great to have you here.
Oh, it's always great to be here. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Thank you for feeding, fueling, and clothing America. And lots of the decisions that are made in this building have big ramifications for the country. So grateful to be here.
Okay, we're going to take our first break so we get these microphones working and everything else working. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Any better? Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Okay, Mike, I'm not getting the cue at all. That's it. Switch it off.
That's better.
Okay. It's just what it is. Okay. Sounds good. Give me the cue and okay. And we're back once again, live from Farmfest. Congressman Tim Walz, candidate for governor of Minnesota, is with us. Tim, we've got a special guest to begin with to talk about markets. Why don't you make the introduction?
Yeah, this is the guy you want to hear from, Ken Beadle. Tell us what's happening in the markets and tell us good news.
Well, good news in the soybeans today. We have August beans up 9.5 cents, November beans up 8 3/4. Rally on crop condition ratings yesterday and rumors about some Chinese negotiating progress. The corn market is taking a little breather after a couple pretty good days. We're down a penny in the CEP, down a penny and a quarter in the D's corn. Wheat is getting some profit taking today too in Chicago and Kansas City, but that Minneapolis wheat still higher, up a penny today.
And what about the livestock side of the markets?
Very volatile day in the livestock. We saw cattle markets actually $1 higher early on in the session. They're now about $2 lower. Feeder cattle down about $3. The hog market has rebounded off of contract lows, and we're now seeing December hogs up about 50 cents.
Okay, and Congressman, maybe you'd like to ask a question about the impact of trade with our guest here.
Well, you mentioned a little bit, Ken, about China as the markets start to reflect what's happening with the tariff situation. Where are the opportunities for growers? Where are the opportunities in the markets? Where are the opportunities for trade that we can be taking advantage of?
Well, goodness, we export 60% of our soybeans to the Chinese. So the opportunity that's in front of us right now is to get this deal. We need to get a deal with the Chinese. They are a huge factor in our marketplace. They're a huge opportunity for us for the long term. The other thing that we're looking at as far as opportunities is how farmers allocate their space, and we think they're going to need to store beans and sell corn this fall.
In your position, Congressman, on the Ag Committee, farmers right now are looking at trade. They need trade, and they're very concerned about it. What do we need to do?
Yeah, this issue of trade and stability and certainty in the markets, you've all worked really, really hard, and our trade groups have worked hard of expanding markets for our products. As Ken said, we make up 3% of the world's population, but we feed a good chunk of the world. We've got to have these markets. They need to be fair. And I just came from up north with the folks up in the Iron Range, and those folks up there know that what China was doing to us on steel needed to have some repercussions. What I believe is, and what we need to ask for is that trade is fair, and we're right to ask for that, but to make sure that we're not punishing those who are producing. You have done an incredible job of opening up markets. We can't let those slip back, and I don't think it's an either-or proposition. We can put the tariffs on the products where they are wrong, like steel, aluminum, but make sure we're getting it right on our ag products, because this is a situation that we can correct. It can be corrected pretty quickly, but if we lose those markets, they're hard to come back.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll have more from Farmfest in 1 minute.
Check. from Pivotal to Tech with the newest strike technology. Learn more at acceleronsas.com/strike now. It is important to use proper PPE when in the transit. Performance may vary. Products with newest strike technology are not registered in all states and may be subject to use restrictions.
And we continue our live broadcast on the Linder Farm Network, and we are here at Farmfest. We're enjoying ice cream, compliments of CHS. We're happy to have Congressman Tim Walz. He's our guest broadcaster of the day, and Colin Peterson is joining us. And I know you only ask the hardball kind of questions, Congressman. And what do you want to ask this guy sitting over here?
Well, this is the hardball one because I want to know this too. Colin and I are two of the 32 members of the Farm Bill Conference Committee. There's only 4 members from the Upper Midwest set on that committee, so we're lucky we've got the one whose voice matters a lot. But I want to ask Colin, what's the status of the Farm Bill going into the conference report, and how do you see it for us as 2 of those 4 voices?
Well, we've had our initial meeting of the Big 4, and it was all, everybody, I think, on the same page. We wanted to get this done. And we're trying to figure out, we're going to get back together, I hope, in August to work through some of these issues. But the staff has been working for the last week. They're working through the different titles. And we're on track, I think, to get this thing done by September 30th. The big problem is we still have this food stamp program, which the stuff that was done in this House cannot make it through the Senate. So how we're going to get through that? One of the big hurdles. We also have some differences in conservation and CRP and CSP. They're going to be somewhat different than what we're through. But everybody that was in the room that day pledged that we're going to compromise, we're going to figure out what was done, and people need certainty. And that's what we're going to try to do, is give it a 5-year deal. In my opinion, it's not going to be as good as it needs to be, but it's all we can do under the circumstances.
So you think it'll get done?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a break. We have more coming up with our guest. Kevin Papp's going to make an appearance. We'll be back in 1 minute.
If you want a 2.0 bushel per acre bump in the U.S. or more yield, the answer is A. If you want
soybean varieties that have been developed and tested in my area so I can have
more yield, the answer is A. If you want a soybean that meets my high expectations for more yield, the answer is A. Pioneer brand A-Series soybeans are the highest yielding varieties to ever emerge from the industry's most extensive breeding and testing program. A-Series soybeans are packed with outstanding yield potential and strong agronomics, and they're backed by hundreds of local yield trials to take your soybean acres to new levels. So if you want
a proven yield cake on my soybean fields,
ask your local Pioneer sales representative how A-Series soybeans can do more than raise expectations, and learn more at pioneer.com/A-Series. Individual results may vary. Pioneer, with you from the word go.
We continue our live broadcast from Farmfest, a tradition here for many, many years. And we have our special guest today, Congressman Tim Walz, also Colin Peterson, Congressman talking Farm Bill. Kevin Papp is joining us. And Kevin, I know you'd like to welcome these people to Farmfest.
I do, Lynn. Thank you. On behalf of Zippy Duval, our American Farm Bureau president, is not able to be with us today. I want to welcome everybody to Farmfest and hope you enjoy yourself. And Farm Bureau pork chops are also being served. So, best news of the day. We got Congressman. We got some good Farm Bill news. Tell us how we can make that happen.
Well, at the end of the day, it's going to be whatever the Senate will accept in terms of food stamps. That's what we're going to end up with in Title IV. Now, whether that is something that the House will take back and try to get through the House, that's a good question. But if they don't screw up the rest of the bill and they do the food stamps the way the Senate, I think, wants it done, I can probably deliver on the Democrats. So we don't need the Freedom Caucus, we don't need these other folks that are screwing up the bill to get this done. So that's what we're going to try to do. And, if I were writing this bill, it would be a lot different bill. Because I don't think the safety net is what we need. given what we're going on with trade and pricing and weather. But it is what it is, and we're going to try to work with it and get it done.
Well, we certainly appreciate all that our members of Congress from Minnesota do in Washington, D.C., especially our members, two here that are on the Ag Committee. We appreciate that. But I think most Minnesotans probably don't really get what ranking member, the amount of responsibility and pressure and pushing from every direction. So, Congressman Peterson, thank you for getting us to where we are now, and thank you in advance for getting this farm bill done on time.
All right, we're going to take a break. Be back right after this.
Farming's in your blood. It's in your roots. It's what you've always done, and it's what you'll always do. Give it your best, and yield even better. So the last thing you need is corn rootworm, inflicting its worst damage where it counts the most. Because if there's one thing you've learned season after season, it's the yield goes back to the roots. Which is why you only trust Smart Stacks technology to protect the foundation of your yield from corn rootworm, as well as a broad range of above-ground pests. Smart Stacks technology is proven on over 100 million acres. See how it compares with all your trade options at Unity.com/protection. Smart Stacks technology. Yield goes back to your roots. Always read and follow IRM, grain marketing, and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label corrections. Individual results may vary.
We continue our live broadcast today on the Linder Farm Network. Minnesota Congressman Tim Walz, candidate for governor of Minnesota. Congressman Colin Peterson, who's hard at work on a new farm bill. And Congressman, maybe we should put this guy on the spot a little bit. What question would you like to ask this prospective governor candidate?
Well, Tim has been a great ally of mine, and a great member of the Ag Committee, and I'm supporting him in running for governor and everything like that. But he's done some things in agriculture on the farm bill in the committee that I think a lot of people are not aware of, in terms of the veterans programs that he was able to get in the bill, and also the Again Farmer and those kinds of things. So, Jim, you want to talk about what you were able to get in the bill?
Yeah, and Kevin's right. Having a ranking member of the Ag Committee is critically important. We're pretty lucky. Of the 20 or so committees in the United States Congress, Colin's ranking member of Agriculture, I'm ranking member of the Veterans Affairs Committee. They're probably the two committees that work best bipartisanly and get more done. And one of the things we see is we have a whole lot of our warriors coming back home, and one of the problems we have is transitioning them out of the military into careers that they want to see. And there's a lot of them want to get into agriculture, want to get started. We see that with beginning farm and ranchers, you all know out here. Access to capital, access to land, getting in what they need to do. If they've got family, it's helpful. But what this program does, it makes sure we have a few set-asides to encourage those folks as they're coming out, bring their skills, get them on the land, because the statistic I give all of you is really, really important. Of this nation's warriors, about 15% of the country's population is in greater America or rural America. About 50% of our veterans come from greater America. It's just one of those things that you grow up, you go down, you sign up. This is a good program working with the Ag Committee to transition these folks, get them back on the land, let them get started, and it just makes good sense. So,
That's a great question, Colin. Absolutely. It's something we need to be aware of, not specifically an ag issue, but certainly a rural issue. Yep.
No, it's so expensive nowadays. There's so much risk in agriculture. It's very hard for the young guys to start out. It's very hard for a guy coming back from Iraq or Afghanistan to be able to get started. And there's some good people that really want to do this. And so what we're trying to do is give them a little bit of help to be able to do that. If you don't have a family to help you get started, we're trying to make that thing available in the farm bill.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We're going to have weather. We have more coming up from our two special guests. Back in 1 minute.
Was that German?
What?
You just spoke German to me.
No, I said don't.
Cut it out.
I said don't grow too tall, Kyle, and get in my shot.
Things is, maybe we can get a little bit of certainty. We don't have it in the markets and we don't have it in Congress, so Dan Lemke's going to give us some certainty in the weather. Go right ahead.
Well, yeah, you definitely know weather is always a certain thing, right? So we were supposed to see a little bit of sprinkles this morning. Well, obviously turned into more than that. Unfortunately, the rain has mostly moved off, especially here from the Farmfest grounds. It is still raining to the east of us, though, east of New Ulm to Mankato, over towards Rochester. We'll see those showers popping up throughout the afternoon. But once those exit, pretty much by the afternoon and evening, the rest of the state should be in line for an extended stretch of summery weather. By the time you're visiting the show tomorrow, it will feel very different, as we're expecting to see highs probably close to 90 tomorrow. You should see partly mostly sunny skies this afternoon today, highs right around 80. Some light southwesterly winds about 5. Could see some spotty showers yet popping up across mainly the southern third of the state this afternoon and early evening. Those spotty showers could continue throughout mainly the southeast. Otherwise, mostly clear skies overnight, lows into low to mid-60s. Tomorrow looks to be mostly sunny with highs into the upper 80s and low 90s. Southwest winds about 5 to 10. A few spotty showers possible yet in southeast. After that, our weather pattern stays mainly sunny and warm and storm-free all the way until next Monday. We may see some higher dew points during that stretch, but generally will be in the mid-80s with plenty of sunshine. So about as certain as our weather forecast has gotten this year, it looks like the next several days it should be pretty nice and make some good soybeans in the weather here now.
Thanks, Dan.
All right, thank you so much, Dan. We appreciate that. And we'll have more from Farmfest coming up in a minute.
Is there a breakout box?
Agriculture, needs like needs the energy as it provides agriculture and things a lot of pressure on real estate, which we can get our providers to line. Pipelines are the safest, most affordable, efficient way to move energy. Environmentally effective.
Minnesota farmers and ranchers support replacing line frame.
The standard replacement is kind of updated. We've done it with tractors, we've done it with our technology. We need to do the exact same thing when it comes to the delivery of the fuels that drive this nation. The world revolves around it. In fact, the farmers, it's people who are going to consume the product of farmers. We have to run the reducing capacity, forces that cost of energy up for everybody out there. It's a very important project for safety. Basically, the ranchers stay on the pipeline, federal safety to our state. It's an absolute no-brainer. We support Line 3. I support Line 3.
84% of Minnesotans support replacing aging infrastructure.
I support the Line 3 replacement.
Join us at EnergyAlliance.com.
Back once again, we're live from Farmfest. Congressman Tim Walz joining us live on the Liberty Farm Network, along with Congressman Colin Peterson. And Congressman, trade is important in Minnesota, and we've got some problems out there right now.
Yeah, trade is critical. And as I said again, we have worked hard to create these export markets. It's the envy of the world. We certainly want to make sure that they're fair. We want to make sure that we hold our trading partners accountable. But this situation with China, we need to make sure we get that straight with our markets. As a young man, I lived in school in China for a couple of years, learned to speak the language. I never thought I would need it so much as we do now to try to make it. So, Colin, from your perspective, how's this thing now? How do we make sure we get the markets open?
You didn't stand on the other side? Fair enough. I'm going to point and click.
I don't really see. There you go. No, I did not support bringing China in the WTO because I knew what they were going to do. They require when you got companies up in China, you got to give them 50 companies. I was part of the deal when they agreed with that. Was they weren't agreed to fly over against it. Also in NAFTA. I voted against NAFTA because we put a whole bunch of Mexican farmers on the board that has been growing corn and we took over that market. But in both cases, we gave away manufacturing markets to those companies in exchange for getting back ag markets. That's what sometimes people don't understand. Is that we in agriculture benefited from what we did, getting rid of the losing jobs to China and Mexico. And now when we went to try to turn that around, now they're coming back after us. So it's not any surprise when they're around us. So I don't know. Maybe there's some strategy here that I'm not privy to or I don't understand. All I can I'm skeptical, and I hope I'm wrong, because this would do us a lot of damage if we don't figure out some way to deal with this.
And I just encourage all of you to speak up on this. We need to talk about it. We as a country need to figure this out and find that sweet spot on this. But this is falling very, very heavily in a fairly limited swath of the country, and it's landing right here with many of you in this room. So your voice, your opinion on this issue really matters. Help us take that voice to a little broader audience.
Okay, we're going to take a break with final comment from Congressman Walz. Ava Hansen's going to sing a tune for us. All that's coming up in 1 minute.
Invisible, invasive, underestimated. Nematodes have been stealing over 10% of corn and soybean yields and getting away with it. Infecting your roots. They hide in healthy-looking crops or disguise themselves as drought, nutrient deficiency, or disease. Current management practices, including crop rotation, aren't enough. But a breakthrough seed treatment technology controls nematodes when they attack. Strike technology, now available as part of the Excel portfolio, provides broad spectrum control from the start, stays in the root zone for up to 75 days, and delivers results you can see at harvest. Strike when nematodes attack with Strike technology. Learn more at excelonsas.com/strike-math. It is important to use proper PPE when handling treated seed. Performance may vary. Products with Strike technology are not registered in all states and may be subject to use restrictions.
And we're live from Farmfest on the Linder Farm Network. Congressman Walz joining us, and he's a candidate for governor. And you're up here wearing your congressman hat today, but I have to ask him, why are you running for governor? What's the draw? What do you want to do?
Yeah, first of all, like all of you, I love this state. I believe we have much more in common than we have differences. I don't think it should be all that difficult to educate our children, build our roads, invest in a state, and understand that if we put somebody in the governor's office who understands education, who understands farming, who understands and spends time in our military serving, we can get some results by finding those common bonds. So I believe that our future is bright. I believe that, as I said, you're feeding, fueling, clothing the world. We're innovating across this state. We're doing the things to allow people to live the lives they want to, and I'd like to do that and represent the state in a manner that reflects on the work that you do.
I appreciate you being here. And Congressman, why don't you introduce our entertainment that's live on the Linder Farm Network?
Well, I know all of you have been waiting for this to get over so that you can hear from Ava Hansen of New London, Minnesota. Ava, take it away.
She grew up on the side of the road. The church bells ring, strong welcomes. She grew up good, she grew up slow, like American honey. Steady as a preacher.